Okay.
All right, we're good?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Let me just change my name. I didn't realize I used this meeting for a different, I used this name for a different meeting. So let me just change my name so you know exactly who I am. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to call this meeting to order at 7 o'clock. This is the Columbia Board of Assessment Appeals. This is Thursday, March 4th. Our meeting is at 7 p.m. And per allowance of executive order, we're doing this through the Zoom platform. I wanted to say that the legal notice for this meeting appeared in the, it's been on the town website for a few months. It's also been in the town administrator's newsletter for a couple months, and it's also been on in the Columbia Views newsletter, I believe, last quarter of last year and first quarter of this year. So it's been out there. Roll call. There are 3 members are here: Steve Pistensky, Mike Hamilton, and myself, Linda McDonald. I just want to know if either of you have any changes or additions to the agenda.
I have
Nothing.
Nothing? Okay. We'll go to approval of minutes from September 10th, 2020, regular meeting minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve the minutes of that date.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Anyone hear a second? Okay. Do we have any discussion on those minutes? Any changes or anything?
No.
Hearing none. Take a roll call vote. Steve, how do you vote?
Yay.
Mike?
Yay.
And I vote yay too. Minutes are approved. All right, we're going into our appeal hearings. The first one we're going to hear is the motor vehicle appeal of Roger Glass. And Steve, if you need Flo to screen share any documents that she sent us, let her know and she'll put them up on the screen for us.
Yeah, I have them up here. I'll kind of just be clicking back and forth.
Okay, all right, good. All right, so we have the appeal of Mr. Glass for a 1989 Wrangler Jeep. And if you look at his documents, he has an explanation as to why he wants the estimate of the value reduced to $500. Excuse me. Do you have any discussion on this?
So we have a printout of the NADA valuation,
Yes.
and doesn't it show that it's for average, it's higher than what he's currently being taxed?
I don't know if I have that in front of me.
The Jeep Wrangler, the value is $1,370 according to the tax bill.
Right, he's asking for a reduced value to $500. Considering
You're looking at the one that says 4,400 and 4,875 or something like that.
Yeah. You mean the NADA?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's an 89 and it looks like the low would be 1925, right? I don't know, am I looking at the right one?
his current value is $1,370.
Right, and I don't know where that value came from in the NADA book, but it appears to be lower than anything else that's in the NADA.
Maybe it's got something to do with the age of it. I don't know why, but
Yeah,
given the fact that it doesn't even run,
I know. I mean,
I think the request might be, something I could go with.
I have no issue with it. Do we need any other proof other than his statement?
I don't think so, because I think, even if he sent a photo of it, we wouldn't be able to tell whether it ran or not. So,
Right. And the fact that
considering it's 32 years old and he can't get the parts to replace it to get it to run, it's not going to run. So,
no. Yeah, and a car that doesn't run isn't worth more than $500.
Right. Okay. So I'm going to make a motion to approve the motor vehicle appeal of Roger Glass for a 1989 Jeep Wrangler, and reduce the value of it to $500.
That'll be the value, right? Not the assessment.
That will not be the assessment, that'll be the value.
Okay. I'll second that.
Second, all right. Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll take a roll call vote. Steve,
Yay.
Mike,
Yay.
and myself, yay. So the appeal is approved and the value is reduced to $500. Okay. Someone is the real estate appeal of James and Kristen Locke, who are here with us, or Kristen's here with us. I guess you're both here with us. Good evening to you both.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Normally when the appellants appear, we give them an oath. So if you will listen to the oath, and it says, do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right, so the floor is yours, and you are asking for a reduction, or your estimated value of your property at 24 Doubleday is $200,000. Is that an estimate of what you think it's the appraised value is, or the assessed value?
I guess we were just looking at that as the taxed value, because I had seen that our current assessment went up by what, $40,000, approximately $42,000. And after buying the house, we had to tear up a good chunk of the flooring in the basement. So probably about a third of our basement is no longer finished because we had water damage.
And this is something you were not aware of when you purchased the property?
Correct.
So we did get one photo, which by the time it got to us, it was really poor. So it was really hard to tell what was what on it. And we did get your estimate from your carpenter of what it would cost to repair the damage. Is it confined to one part of the basement, or one part of the downstairs, or?
So kind of. I mean, we still haven't found all the locations, excuse me, where water is coming in. We found a few of them. We've managed to patch probably a couple of them so far. It's like one wing of the basement, like
It's
not
the
really
whole north side
right.
of the house.
About, like I said, about 1/3 of it is where we've ripped it up and the water was in there. And we found a couple of locations where it's coming in. We think we found another, but I'm not completely positive we found all of them.
I have just one question. Is there any legal action going on that you guys are involved in with the previous owner or person who did the inspection or anything like that?
We're considering it. Our attorney is reviewing the information, but nothing's active at this point.
Okay.
Is your insurance covering any of the costs?
Unfortunately, not really. They'll cover mold and certain parts of it, but they won't cover any water coming through the foundation.
So they'll likely cover our drywall replacement because the drywall had mold on it, but it
Yeah.
doesn't look like it's gonna cover anything else for us.
Now, how'd you come up with the estimate of your value?
Oh, for the 200?
Yeah.
I mean, when I looked at it, I just went in between what it was before and then what it went up to.
The value being increased was based on photos we submitted of the whole basement being finished, and it's not a finished space anymore. So, I mean, if she had gotten to us like a month later, we would have sent her pictures of the whole basement torn apart.
You're saying the assessment was, so you're saying the decrease in value is due to the basement?
Correct. It wasn't finished prior to us owning it. The previous owner finished it, sold it to us, and we've had to rip most of it out.
When did you buy it?
August.
Yep.
Pardon
End
me?
of-
August,
Of 20?
yes,
And what'd you pay?
339.
No, it
No,
was,
329.
yeah.
So you're saying it decreased in value, 129,000?
No, sir. We just asked for 20,000 to decrease it by 20,000.
Yeah, we were just looking at the assessment value we were sent
Okay.
for the 2020 grand list.
What was the estimate of the work that was needed?
The work that needs to be done outside was $20,210.45. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the work inside. The work outside was 16,009.
36,000?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
approximately.
Anybody else want to comment?
Yeah, I'm just taking a look at it right now again.
I don't see do we have our property card from Mary and,
We do. Flo, do you have, I think that was in the packet.
It's in the packet, yes.
I gotta try to find it now.
JC, stop that. Do it later.
Yeah, so when do you plan on having this improvement done?
We're hoping to start in the spring with the outside work to stop the water from coming in the house. We're not sure when we'll be able to finish the inside.
So if I'm reading this, Mary's number was 221.5.
Right.
Okay.
Do we have a copy of the tax record here?
We should have one. If not, let me see.
No. that
I'm
was-
looking at a property card online, but it must be an old one.
Yeah, the new ones are not online, unfortunately, but hang on a second.
Oh, yeah, because the old one is still under former owner's name.
I think I have a copy of the new one. I'm going to send it over to Flo.
Okay.
It's not in the package. I thought it was in the package.
It might be.
Yeah. Because I see the assessment at 221.5 on the property card. The new system, so.
Okay, I know. Hang on a second. I'm going to send it over to you, Flo, so you can screen share it.
Okay. How are you sending that, Linda? Just email or,
Yeah, hang on a second.
okay.
All right, I just sent it.
Okay, 1 second.
Something smells delicious.
Yeah, it's kind of hard because they switched companies that do the property, the evaluations,
Oh, yeah,
and none of the new stuff is up on the website.
okay. Good to know.
I don't think our mill rates, or I don't think anything's changed. Our mill rate hasn't changed since the past several years, so all the numbers should still be the same.
Mhm.
All right, this is our reval year this year.
It is. So I thought 2019 was the last reval, or,
No, it was 2016.
oh, wow, okay.
You get it yet, Flo?
I am, I'm trying to get it right. Okay, this was what I had in the package.
It is? Okay, all right.
Yeah. Okay, hold on and I'll share this with you. Can everybody see that?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
so here's the current assessed value.
Yep, and I see that. And then the building actually was at 214.3.
Mhm.
Mr. and Mrs. Locke, you don't have any other photos of the damage or the mold or anything, do you?
We do. I can send them to you if you'd like.
It's up to the members. Would you like to see any?
I mean, they provided estimates of the damage, correct?
Right.
That's adequate, I think.
Okay. Okay.
So the total building value on the new property card is 214.3.
Yeah, that's what I was looking at.
214.3 is the total building value.
Right.
That's the only thing that they're claiming has changed because of the repairs needed.
But they said they were asking for a $20,000 reduction in the assessment.
$20,000 in the assessment. But here's the thing. If it gets repaired, the value will be back to where it is.
It's a big if. Like, we're
well,
gonna do the
if-
outside work, but getting the inside back to where it was is gonna take probably
Right.
years.
That's if we refinish it. If we put flooring back in, I'm not sure I even want to put the flooring back in there.
Well, if anything is done, if any adjustment is made by the board, it's only going to be good for the 20 grand list, the 2000
Right.
grand list, because we are in a reval year, so it's only good for 1 year anyway.
Okay.
So it won't be in perpetuity.
Right.
Just be 1
Understood.
year.
I mean, it's reasonable. It should be repaired at some point, right?
Right.
Do you have building permits pulled and everything for the work?
No, ma'am.
Has he started the work?
No.
We've just done the tear out.
Okay.
When did the damage occur?
We first discovered it in probably about October.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yep.
And then we thought it was more local, like there was a broken pipe or something. And as we started to pull things out, we realized it was quite a bigger problem.
Okay. Okay. Anybody need more information?
No.
I'm all set for right now.
All right. We can either discuss this one now or move on to the next one and say, well, the rest of our discussions for the end of the session, or do you want to just take them as we do them, or?
Whatever you think.
I guess we could just, discuss this one now.
Yeah. And like you said, it's only a temporary situation.
Right. Personally, I don't feel comfortable taking $20,000 off an assessment.
I'm trying to I'm trying to weigh this against anything else that might occur to people. Like if your septic goes bad, does that mean we reduce your assessment
Right.
until you get it fixed?
Mm.
In my mind, it's kind of hard to equate this to everyday life. For everybody has issues, and I mean, tree falls on your shed, insurance covers it. But I'm just trying to put this in context, really.
When you purchased the house, Mr. and Mrs. Locke, did you purchase it as is?
No, ma'am.
The question I have, Linda, though, is can we go off of the 20,000 or do we have to go off of the 200 that was put down?
We have to go by what they asked.
The appellant's estimate is 200,000, and they're currently only at 214. So
Right.
it's less than 20. It's 14. Would be the adjustment down to 200.
Yeah, that was my only question.
That's for the building.
Well, I think yeah, but I think you're looking at it for market value. I think what their 200,000 is relates to the assessed value, which is 221.5.
Yeah, so it'd really be reducing it by 21.5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the value, yeah. I don't know. I mean, does anybody understand where I'm coming from as far as context
Mhm.
goes?
Right.
Like your septic goes bad tomorrow, do you go to the assessor and say, I need a reduction because they sold me a bad septic system? I think generally the assessor would just keep the taxes the same and make sure that the septic got repaired.
Well, I hear what you're saying, but the assessed value went up because of the modifications the previous owner did. And then those modifications to that 1/3 of the basement, turned out to be, useless to us because we had to rip it all out anyway.
How much, so was that a large percentage of the renovation? The basement?
$16,000.
Pardon?
It's gonna take $16,000 to repair it. So I guess my point is that when we submitted pictures of the basement done and they assessed it and came up with this amount, we submitted pictures a month later, it would have been of a torn up basement.
Right.
And it would have been assessed at a different value.
Did you approach the assessor about the issue that you were having?
It wasn't the assessor I dealt with, it was someone from the town who asked for photos, and then we got this in the mail from the town.
It must have been from Mary Lavalley, the assessor.
That sounds correct.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did they provide any documentation about when they completed this finished basement from the house? Is there any other past property cards?
I don't know.
Not that we have access to. They purchased the home, I believe it was November of the previous year, and sold it to us in August. So he didn't have it for very long.
Yeah, it went on the market, in June?
It was May.
Either May or June it went on the market.
How much of so it looks like on the property card, it says 900 square foot is semi-finished. Is that accurate?
It's
I
not
guess.
semi-finished now.
No, I mean before that.
Yeah, probably.
How much of it has been impacted?
I would say a good 500 square feet.
Probably at least.
We may have to take a look to see what Mary assessed that finished basement at. It's hard, you can't really tell from the property card
Yeah, I know.
value it's given to the finished basement. Because Yeah, that would give us an idea what the value she gave the basement. I don't see that here in the card though.
No, I don't either. You want to defer any decision until we consult with Mary?
I think so. Because if she's only attributed $10,000 to that finished basement, then what's the point in going 20 or more? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know how much she attributed to the finished basement in value.
right.
So she may have only put $10,000 in value on the basement, finished basement. I don't know. We'll have to see what she did or what the assessment is. Just the finished basement.
She also might have a better answer for what they do in, I guess, in these type of situations or what they can.
Yeah.
All right. So at this point, we will probably hold a special meeting after we speak with the assessor on this particular issue. Sound okay with everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to get a little bit more information before. we make
Okay.
a decision.
All right, so Mr. and Mrs. Locke, we're going to contact the assessor maybe tomorrow morning if she's in. It's only half day at town hall tomorrow. If not, first thing Monday, we'll get more information and then we'll notify you when we're having our special meeting. All our business for the Board of Assessment Appeals has to be wrapped up before the end of March. So it'll be relatively quick.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right. So the third one is the real estate appeal of Tamika Blackburn, and Ms. Blackburn is with us. You can put your card down if you can, Flo. Yep. Okay, Ms. Blackburn, we're going to read to you the oath that we read to every appellant that appears before us. Do you solemnly swear or solemnly and sincerely affirm, as the case may be, that the evidence you shall give concerning this case shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God, or upon penalty of perjury?
I do.
Okay. All right, so this is a real estate appeal of the property at 32 Oakwood Lane. And you said that your reason for appeal is I would like the taxes lowered for the property given factors that affect the resale market value of the home. And your estimate of value is $380,000 to $390,000. So if you can give us a little background as to why you're here before us.
Yes, I was looking at some of the properties in the vicinity of my property. My property abuts, well, the land goes all the way back up to Delage, which is a development of properties right behind my home. And so I gave you some values from houses that have sold in the past 2 to 3 years. And we can take 27 Delage as an example. I think that was the most expensive property that had sold. And it was around, I think, 300. And I wrote it it's on the papers. I printed them out from a combination of Zillow and real estate, realtor.com. And it was around the 380 range. And the property is 4 bedrooms, basically comparable size to my property. And it's at the back of my property. And so I basically was comparing the lower taxes from those properties to my property, since they're in close proximity. The second thing is there's a larger house than mine that's actually on my street that was just up for sale actually for at least a year and a half. They had put it on the market right when I had purchased my home. And that was 50 Oakwood Lane, and their property did not sell. And that affects the value of my home, because if a larger property like that can't sell, then I know I cannot get that value for my property as well. And obviously the homes that are right next to me at the front of my home are they're valued in the 200 range. So I mentioned some other smaller issues like things that I've actually had to replace a number of things as the house starts to approach, as the property ages and starts to approach the decade mark. There's different things that we had to replace, like the central AC unit. We had a leak in the bathroom in my master bedroom from the porch on the second level. And the refrigerator broke down. We had to replace the washer and dryer. And then finally, since we moved there, when we first moved there, the school system rating was much different. But since we've moved there, the school system ratings have dropped as well. And that in turn also affects home values. In terms of people looking for homes, they want an area with a great school system. And ours doesn't have the ratings that school systems like Glastonbury and Avon have.
Okay. All right, so I'll start, if that's okay. Actually drove and I went to your property, or I drove by. Drove by 50 Oakwood, 28 July, to Stonewall, 27 July and 15 July. And I've written out all comparisons of all these properties based on the year built, the number of acres, the living area, the grade, the market value, the assessed value, the zone, and the building percent that's good. And I know that 50 Oakwood is next to you, right next to your, or near your property. 50 Oakwood was built in 2005. Your property was built in 2013. 50 Oakwood is a shared driveway with two other properties. And it's a long, steep driveway. And I believe when she had it on the market, I think she maybe had it overpriced because I think she was asking in the $600,000 range.
I saw it because I was actually looking at it for a family member. It was, I think 480 is what.
Yeah.
That, yes.
Yeah, she might have started at 6 and gone down from there. 50
The last list price was 489
Yeah.
in 2018.
For 50 Oakwood, only 50% of the basement is finished. I think most of that is under the garage. And the rest is crawl space with the ledge. We really, using the comparisons on Zillow and Realtor.com really aren't things that we can actually use because those are, they're zestimates. I mean, it's not really.
They're overinflated.
Yeah, it's not
I'm
really
talking
something-
about the for sale prices, the prices that when they've actually sold.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing is you got a large parcel of land here and you're comparing it to other properties that have 1 acre and you've got 13 plus acres.
A lot of that is actually wetlands. So I can't build on any of the wetlands and it's undeveloped.
Right, but it still affords you some privacy and, open space or whatever. I know you can't put houses on it, but it does give you some privacy or whatever. You could work the land and whatever you wanted to do if you were a land type person. But that's a big difference. The one on Oakwood next to you has a large parcel also, but the others, their sites are much smaller than yours.
Their land abuts mine. I could see them from my land. That's how I knew they were there behind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other concern is that I've owned property in another town in Connecticut. And what happens is the property is assessed at a particular value, and then the houses don't sell for that assessed value. So, don't sell for that appraised value. So I'm paying higher taxes than what the property ends up being worth because of what it actually sells for. And that has happened to me in another town. So that's why I wanted to make sure I address this now before my taxes get out of control, so to speak.
So you bought the property in 2017 for 419,
Yes.
and the market came up after that. I mean, the market has improved since that time.
With the pandemic, there's less inventory. So I guess that's why the market appears to be higher now. But if you think about what happened to us in 2007, 2008 with the bubble, all the properties were overvalued, and now people lost $70,000, $80,000 on their homes. So I don't want that to happen to me again, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, the assessments are done. The assessments are done based on the grand list of every October of every year.
Mhm.
It's everybody on the same playing field. In this particular year, 2021 is going to be a reval year in Columbia. And so everybody's property will be revalued at the same time again.
Mhm.
As far as the wear and tear on your property, that's something that everybody has. It's not unique to you. It's
I know it's not unique, but it's not the only thing, but it's part of the value of a property. Someone's
right, but
Yes.
I mean, if that was the case, then everybody could come before us and say, you know, this year my refrigerator broke and I had to replace my air conditioning, and you need to, you know, reassess.
within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, within reason. They're not gonna come to you just for a refrigerator, but yeah.
And as far as the school rating system ratings, I mean, you know, that's something you're telling us, but I don't have anything in front of me to validate that. So
Schooldigger.com, those
yeah,
are,
but we have to go with what's in front of us. And so
Well, the other thing is the value of the properties is based on other properties in Columbia, so it's an even playing field.
so there's a new development that was just, that's being developed in Columbia, and those homes are way much more than all the other homes. But when I'm looking at the assessed value for my property that's current, it's actually comparable to those new homes. So that's why I would feel that it's a little unfair that I'm judged similar to the newer development, when I know people are not going to want my house, they're going to want the new house that's being built. So
not necessarily, I mean, you know,
if they're comparable prices.
everybody's assessment is based on the same time period, which is October 1st of last year. The new houses are new houses, and they're not part of the equation at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and it's based on other factors other than the age of the house. Like, you've got a large house, you've got 3.5 bathrooms, and you're on 13 acres. That's, you know, it's larger than average. It's probably in the top 5% of house size in Columbia, especially given the land area. So in this town, it would probably be in the top 5% of value of the houses based on its size and acreage alone. I mean, the next reval is going to be over $500,000 probably.
So that's my concern, is that it's not worth 500,000. No one's going to get, I mean, if you look at what the original owners put the house up for, no one wanted their house. Their house didn't even sell for that, you know, whatever they initially put it up for. It was approaching the 500 mark.
Are you talking about the house next door?
No, my current house,
Okay.
the people who were trying to sell it, it was on the market for like 8 months or so. And then they brought it down to its price that I purchased it at.
Okay. And you felt like you paid fair market value at that time?
I had to give them I wanted to give them their asking price to come in strong. So that's basically why I gave them their asking price.
Yeah.
Do you have any appraisal on the house that was done or anything?
I don't, well, I guess now you're saying it's changed, but I don't have a, have one, but, now, but
Oh,
basically.
it would have been, it would have had to be, not this year, but as of last year.
When I purchased it, the bank said that it appraised for that value that I purchased that. They had to basically say it appraised for that so that I could get the loan. So
Steve, what do you think? You have any comments or questions or?
So the only thing I've been noticing, and even just in the market and as a whole, I think, Mike, you can probably attribute to this, like, because of how the market is, the no foreclosures, the inventory is down. I've actually seen people getting in trouble, like you, Ms. Blackburn just talked about. Banks won't approve you for a different amount. I don't know how that exactly turns into with a assessed value and how we make that comparable, because I personally have a friend in another town down in the coastline was looking for a house, and they wanted this, the person was selling it at, like, say 400, but the bank knew that they could only approve it for 380. But it was just the fact that the houses were going for that price. I don't know how, or if we can factor that in. If not, I just don't know with the way the market is, and I don't know if, Mike, you know anything more about it.
The hard part is the market is right now is super hot.
Yeah,
Properties are selling for 30, 40, 50,000 over list price because there's low inventory.
yeah.
So I don't know if we're talking about the current market or we're talking about last year or the previous year, but
Oh, well, we can't really consider the current market.
yeah, well, one thing.
What
for
the
sure,
state of things were back on October 1st of last year.
yeah, I mean, my house is going to go up for next reval. Everybody's house is probably going to go up next reval. As long as it's equal across the boards, then it's fair for everybody. And as a result, the mill rate should drop to compensate for the higher property values. So even if your property value goes up, you may pay the same taxes because the mill rate will go down. I'm expecting that in my house. Not looking forward to it, but
Yeah.
So I had showed on the papers, there was just one property that I had chosen, and the taxes were 6,400. And I thought it was comparable. And so I had wanted my taxes to be dropped somewhere between that and my current value, my current taxes, I mean.
Yeah, we can't really talk about taxes here. We can talk about what property assessments, because taxes are based on your house, they're based on your property, outbuildings, they're based on, a lot of different things. So we don't really deal with how much taxes you're paying. So we have to go back to what the house is being assessed for.
which house was the one you were talking about that was tax-wise similar, or you want to be?
I want to say, I put here, I think I gave you 3 or 4 properties.
Yep.
I say it's 27 Delhi.
27 Delhi.
Mm-hmm. Because 50 Oakwood Lane, even though it's bigger than my property, has more land, it's a little bit higher in taxes. It's actually not too much higher in taxes than mine, but the properties on Delhi are much lower in taxes.
Yeah, well, the 27 July is only on 1.42 acres to start.
And it's 300 plus square feet smaller.
And what is Delhi now? That development's got to be almost 20.
Yeah, that house is 2000.
It's 13 years older than your house. So The problem is you gotta compare apples and apples, and it would appear that if this house should be taxed lower than your house, just based on its size, its acreage, its age. You know? That didn't sell recently, so.
There was, I think the ones I sent you were all sold in the past 2 to 3 years. That's why I chose many of them. And I wrote them down. Well, I printed them from the internet.
Yeah. The other ones I have are 50 Oakwood, 28 July, 27 July, 15 July, and 2 Stonewall. Those are the ones I saw.
Yeah, I got the one that sold at for 330 in 2017.
Okay. Oh yeah, 15 July.
28 July sold, looks like 2018 for 392.5.
That's one of the ones where I got the high 300s from. So 419 versus high 300s, difference of
50
20,000.
July has a land assessment of 70, land value of 70,000, and yours is at 100,000, just based on land size alone. House was built in 1998, and you're built in 2013. So there's a pretty big difference there. Those two factors definitely impact value. I'm actually accessing the MLS right now, and the inside of that is dated. So it needed updating when it sold for 330. So, I mean, that's the problem. You're not really talking about a really good comparable sale here. This is something that's inferior to your house in a lot of ways. I'm assuming if your house is newer in age, it must be superior in condition.
Do you have anything else you want to add, Ms. Blackburn?
Not really. That was just, I mean, I stated my case.
I mean, you know,
It's better to have an appraisal done.
once the reval is done, everyone's going to get, you know, their new assessments and everything. And, you know, that starts the process all over again where, you know, person can appeal to, and then if they're not happy, they can appeal to the Board of Assessment Appeals for next year as well. Steve or Mike, you have anything else?
No, I understand her issue, but the problem is you kind of have to base it on appraised value rather than just, you know, pulling out properties out of Zillow and Google and stuff like that, because you're not really comparing apples and apples. You're looking at houses that appear to be similar, but on the outside and location wise, but when you start looking at all the details, they differ quite a bit. And that's why the assessments are different and the taxes are different.
There's no other house really that's in my street or behind me that looks exactly like my type of property. So if the other houses on my street are, you know, 200,000, I can't have a $500,000 house. So people aren't going to want to pay more than twice the amount for one house compared to the other houses that are next to it. So, so that's all I want you to take into consideration when you make your final decision.
Yeah, if your house were located in on July Drive, And 13 acres would probably be worth another $50,000. Because it's surrounded by higher price homes.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when you purchased the house, you took that into consideration.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. We understand what you're saying. Anybody else?
I'm good.
I'm good right now.
Want to defer to our special meeting that we're going to have anyway, or do you want to talk about making a decision tonight?
Yeah, I mean, I think, given what we've talked about, I don't think there's enough information for us to make an adjustment in the assessment of the value. Based on the information that's provided, we've reviewed all of it and still come up with the same answer.
Do you want to put that into a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to. Do I have to label the motion?
You have to move to deny or to approve or to change or whatever, however you want to word it.
I make a motion to deny reduction in assessed value for 32 Oakwood.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All right. Any discussion? All right, I'll take a roll call vote. All in favor, Steve?
Yay.
Yay.
Mike, myself, yay. So we're going to deny your appeal. You will get a letter from the board clerk, and it will tell you what your next course of action would be to take if you so decided. So, all right. On to the last one, which is also you. It's for your motor vehicle. It's your, let's see, what year is that? BMW?
2016 red BMW 28i, 50,000 miles. And it had repair work that was needed on it, Miss Blackburn?
Not in terms of like major cosmetic repair work, but what's happening is because of the age of the vehicle, it will be due for a timing chain, which is $4,000, and gasket changes. So the repair quote that I gave you were, those are quotes, though the gaskets haven't been changed yet. So that is for the cost of different types of gaskets in the engine that they'll have to replace.
Is that strictly just based? I mean, it's not because it's failing, it's just because it's a routine thing or
They
a
start,
recommend?
so the timing chain is routine, but the gaskets start to wear. My partner's car is this basically a year older and had to change it his 3 years ago. And so that's what made me think about this, because it was a big to-do job.
But the car is running now fine.
Yes. And there's just like some, little things on the inside that are more than just basic wear and tear. Like my kid broke the vent in the back where the car seat is. He kicked it and broke the vent. The CD player, the button got glued inward, so I can't work the CD player because of that button. So, things like that.
Can we pull up the I can't really read that well on some of the pictures. I don't know if,
You have the NADA page in the packet flow?
Yes, I do. Hold on a second.
I'm trying to zoom in a little bit, but still.
So you're anticipating problems with this vehicle?
Yes, because I know, his is a 2015 and he's already replaced all the gaskets. He's waiting to replace the time. He was told to start making an appointment to do the timing chain. And that's going to be coming up for me too.
I just can't read with the number.
Right.
Yeah, Flo's going to try to upload the page and see if we can see it.
I'm looking at the mileage one right now and I see, I think it says 1,800. I can't.
We got a copy of that with our
Yeah,
Yeah.
Flo's working on it.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay.
So just to let you know, Ms. Blackburn, we're tied to the values that are in the NADA book. We can't consider anything in Kelly or anything like that. All boards of assessment appeals across the state are uniform in using the NADA book.
What's the difference between NADA and Kelly?
I don't know what the difference is, but that's,
Oh, okay.
you know,
That
by
is-
state mandate, that's what we have to use.
Oh, okay.
that is usually higher.
So when I was looking this up, I went by the Edmonds Kelly Blue Book. I mean, Blue Book.
Can you see that now?
No, not yet. All we have up there is your, an email.
Oh dear, really?
And it's PZC. It's not even BAA.
Oh my gosh, I'm seeing the NADA book. That's very weird. Um, You still don't see it?
No, you might have to take it down because we're still seeing PZC.
That is so strange. Okay.
Is it in the actual packet that,
It's in the packet, yeah.
can you
And
just
that's
upload
what
that
I
whole?
brought up. That's what I brought
Okay.
up, and that's what I could see.
Okay, no, we can't see that part.
That is very weird.
They say, I think it says 1,350.
Mm.
For the 2016, and that's for a 4 class.
I'm not sure if I got knocked out or what here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can see you.
Yeah.
Okay. I see you.
Mm.
So I do have that portion of the NADA book up. Um,
17,200.
so it's a retail average, and what's the last one? Anyway, they got 15,280,
15 too, yes.
17,250, and 18,925
Mhm.
as the three values. And then there's a mileage discount of 1,500, I guess, because it's got 50,000 miles on it. The 1,350 is the discount. Does that sound what's worked up on the assessment?
So I can't see the assessment online. Where do I go to actually see this current year's assessment? Like I know how much I paid in taxes, but where do I go to look up what your assessed value is of the
The
vehicle?
only thing on the website is the real estate.
Yes, okay.
We're looking at your motor vehicle record from the assessor's office.
I don't have that card.
Can you see the screen now where
Yes.
at the mileage table?
Yeah, we can see the mileage table.
Okay,
Do you have the copy of the motor vehicle card?
no. No, I have this. And then this. This is what Mary had given me, those two, the mileage table and then the value.
Well, the value on the motor vehicle card is 14,720.
What does it say? Sorry.
14,720.
All right.
And where are you getting that, Linda?
That's on the actual motor vehicle card that Mary had sent me.
Oh, okay.
And that's less than the NADA numbers, it looks like.
Right.
Right.
Even if we did, hold on.
So whatever her assessment is based on what's on this motor vehicle card. So it's being assessed on a value of $14,720.
All right, so let me see, 15.
So 17,250. What are you showing for an assessment?
I don't have an assessed value. It says the net assessment is 14,720, but this is from the DMV. So I don't think that's an assessed value. I think that's a value that's given to the car. So,
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out how they calculated that. And if I go to the NADA printout, it starts at,
Yeah, two numbers I get is 15.9 if we do the middle at the average, and 13.9 if you do the
yep,
low end.
right. The rough or whatever.
yeah, I can't really read this at all. My eyes are really bad. So I don't know if there's, from looking at it, I can't tell, are there options to that particular model? Like, are there different values based on options, packages or anything?
So, yeah, so if the car had a different engine, there is another engine that's like a sports engine that would be more valuable. Cars that have leather seats would be more valuable.
Okay.
Packages like heated steering wheel or things like that, which I don't have, those would be more value. So I don't have any of those upgraded packages.
Okay.
What did you put down for the value, or would?
So Edmunds had their blue book had it was around 13 something, and I got when I did it, I multiplied it by, because it's supposed to be 70% of the assessment value. So I wrote down $9,450 for the assessment, which would bring my taxes to 276, because our mill rate is what, 29.3, right?
I don't know what the mill rate is.
Sounds about right.
Yes, that's right.
So yeah, so that's what I had wrote down based on what I had looked up, but that's not, I didn't know that you guys use NADA. I was just looking on the internet for the blue book, the Edmunds.
Yeah.
Well, that's about right. Like I said, it's 13.9 here for the low end. And we said that Mary put it at 14,720.
Mm-hmm. So 13.9 was the low end.
Yeah.
Is that after the reduction for the mileage?
Yep. Yeah.
Now, is that considered a high mileage car at 53,000 miles?
For 2016, there definitely is an adjustment. But
Yeah.
it's not substantial. It's like a $1,300 adjustment, I guess.
Yeah, it was 1350.
Yeah.
With it being
Well, I would,
with it not being the the higher end, I guess, or with all the added extras.
Well, that's something that this 14,720 number would be based on, because it's based off the VIN number of the car, so they would know that what the car had and didn't have.
Right.
Yeah.
I was told that we could use the VIN number, but does that work?
I have never done that.
Oh, okay. All right, so do we have enough information here to determine which vehicle it is?
If I could see it, maybe I can't even, I just can't read it at all.
Well, we've got the three descriptions on the unit. We've got three values from NADA here, right, Stephen?
Yeah.
15, 17, and 19.
Yeah.
And those are for, I can't read the description, but I think there's an average and there's
Yeah.
a,
It's rough, average, and clean trade-in.
so the average is probably what we're looking at because it's, right? I mean,
Yeah, that's a 17,250, and that goes to 15,900. That's right. I just don't know where she got her 14,720 from.
That's strictly from the Department of Motor Vehicles.
okay. So she's actually lower than the NADA book.
Mhm.
Yeah, if it's coming from DMV.
I mean, if you went to the lower end, taking into consideration that there might be repairs necessary, which, I mean, I don't know, everybody has repairs coming up on their cars.
The
But-
only thing I would feel somewhat comfortable in doing is reducing it based on the high mileage.
Yeah. I was
Yeah.
just trying to figure out where Mary got her number in between the two numbers.
Even the lowest I think we could go is to the 13,900.
Yeah. And is that below what Mary's shown?
Mary's using the DMV number of 14,720.
Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, I would be comfortable with doing the 13,900 with some of this, again, with what we have from NADA, but
I think I'd agree with that.
we can't go lower than that.
No, we can't. We're bound by that number according to the book.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have anything else to add, Ms. Blackburn, before we,
No, thank you. That sounds reasonable.
all right, Steve or Mike, you want to make a motion on this one?
Sure. I make a motion for the BMW from Miss Blackburn that we adjust the
The value?
vehicle to 13,900.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other discussion?
I don't think so.
Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Okay,
Yay.
thank you. All right. That concludes our appeal hearings for tonight. We'll go on to item number 6, which is to set a special March meeting date, which we're going to need for the appeal that we haven't made a decision on yet.
So we'll send Miss Blackburn.
Yes, we will. Yeah, she'll get a letter on this one as well
Okay.
from our clerk. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. All right, so we have from now until the end of March to set a meeting. And I didn't know, Steve, what your schedule looks like.
Are we going to have the meeting to discuss the property on Doubleday Road?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's something we can do outside. I mean, now?
We were going to ask Mary about
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
what she was assessing the basement at. So we
Yeah.
need to get in touch with her first.
Huh?
So we need to talk to Mary first.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
we can set a meeting date. I mean, I can get in touch with Mary like tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm around tomorrow. I can probably get in touch with her too.
Yeah,
That's fine.
but we need to schedule another special meeting so that we can make our decision.
Should be quick, right? Basically, I just want to find out how much she's.
Right, right. It'll be the only thing on the agenda.
Okay, good.
If it's Zoom, I'm fairly wide open, even if I'm at work.
I may have to go by phone.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Flo, what nights are you, do you have other meetings
I'm opened. I'm opened.
in March?
Yep.
Well, I'm pretty open too. I have,
Oh,
a board, I'm doing minutes for the Charter Review Commission. So I am not available the 9th, the 18th, 25th, or the 30th. But the other, everything else is open. So if you wanted to schedule something, maybe next Thursday, the 11th.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, that should be fine with me. Like I said, I'll be at work, but I can Zoom in from work.
Yeah, it won't be too long. It'll just be a one-item agenda. That'll give us enough time to make sure we get in touch with Mary and, have everything we need for the meeting. And we have to publish it and post it and everything.
right.
So you want to schedule a special meeting for March 11th at 7 o'clock via Zoom?
That's fine.
Okay, so I'm going to make a motion that we schedule a special Board of Assessment Appeals meeting on March 11th, 7 PM.
Second.
Second, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Flo, I did not get any assessor recommended changes from Mary, so I'm guessing there are none.
There are none.
Okay. So that brings us to adjournment. I make a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:12.
Second.
Aye.
Favor? Aye. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Good to see
And
you.
Steve, I want to congratulate you on your promotion with the fire department.
Yeah, thanks. That might to save our discussion come down the road. You might not be the only one that Mike might be sitting here by himself.
Oh, no. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll have to talk about that.
If they haven't reached out to you, we just had a commission, DNC meeting, and they're going to be, reaching out to you to find out.
See, yeah, it's just a lot on my plate now. So
I bet there is. I bet there
not
is.
that this takes up a lot of time. It's just, and I'm not even sure if it's a conflict of interest in any way or not, but I never really even thought about that till being in this position. So we'll see.
Yeah. All right.
But,
Okay, thank you, everybody. I'll see you next Thursday.
All
all
right.
right, thank you guys.
Good night.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.